Hey fam, this might be a little longer than some of the videos I put out there because I try to keep them kind of short. There was no way to shorten this more than I already did. You see, I try to cook stuff from everywhere, because that's how I grew up. My family, we cook everything from Italian to Chinese to bratwurst. We cook everything. But both my parents were born in Panama. Me and my brothers and sisters, the Fantastic Four, we're all born here in America. Brooklyn. Anyway, so I cook from everywhere too. And since I cook from all these other places, well, this one's for the family. Going back to Panama! Let's go. Hi, my name is T. I am not a chef. Actually, I'm a truck driver. And I don't drive food trucks, I drive a semi. What I'm about to do is show you how to do what I do on my truck. Welcome to your favorite new food show, Big Taste in a Small Space with me, T. This dish with some of the ingredients my family didn't grow up eating, but you know, as you got older and you learn a Caribbean dish like this, different parts of the Caribbean use different things, and some of these things other parts use. So I'm trying to do like Chef Ramsay, and how do you elevate a humble dish like this? I think I did a good job. Let me know. So I started out with my crock pot. I used a bunch of stuff today, and I got me an onion, cut it the half and half, because I need to dice it up a little bit. If you watch the shows or know how to cook a little bit, you slit it a couple times down the front, a couple times down the top, and then you cut it up, you got instant diced onion. Ooh, cool, quick and easy. Put that in my crock pot. And I got this can of Callaloo. That's something they use in Jamaica. It's like a spinach. That's even what they say on the can. It's like a Jamaican spinach. Cool. So I put the Callaloo in my crock pot because it's already cooked and I just really want to warm it up. So add a little bit of salt because, you know, I don't do many things straight out the package. I got to spruce it up some. I add a little black pepper. Add a little crushed red pepper. If it ain't spicy, if it ain't hot, it ain't no fun. Add a little garlic powder and a little garlic oil. I don't have any fresh garlic, people. Oh well. And just for another kick, add a little cumin. Yep. And even a little soy sauce. Just a good drizzle. A little bit more. Add some chili oil too. Sometimes I don't know when to stop. It was good. Who wants to stop? Anyway, you mix that up and you get it ready. Put it in the crock pot. Put it on. Oh, before we do, I had some baby corn. Something else you don't see in some of these recipes, but if you want traditional, I'm not your guy. So I put the baby corn in there too. Mix it up. Close it up. Put it in the crock pot. Get it warming up. And then I got another pot out and I had this salted codfish. You have to boil some of that salt out that codfish. So, you know, I got some water, probably used about 3 bottles of water. You got to, because this codfish is so salty you can't eat it the way it is. So I usually boil it 2 times, get as much salt as you can out of it. And while that's boiling, I got my little sweet peppers out. A bunch of them, because we're going to use a bunch of them today. And I cut them up. Cut the top off. Cut them in half. Cut the halves in halves. You know how I do. And do that. Do your prep work. If you have something that's going to cook a long time, get this thing that's going to cook the longest. Start doing your prep work. Save time, kill time, What time it? Never mind. That's tomorrow's day. Anyway, I got the sweet peppers done. I got some serrano peppers. Now, usually they'll use my favorite Scotch bonnet, but I don't have any at the moment in time, so I'm going to use what I have. Cut your little serrano peppers down. I did on a little diagonal, trying to be a little fancy. Like I said, Ramsay, we're trying to elevate a humble dish. And some more of that onion that I had left over. You just cut that down a little bit. And that's just some of the prep work that you need to do. You take that, put it on the side for a minute. Now this is smoked salted herring. Just going to use one piece. And basically right now I'm kind of picking the bones out. Now these bones are edible. You'll probably almost never see somebody else picking the bones out like this. But hey, I had time. Figured what else am I doing? So I picked out as many as I could. Trust me, there was more, but I picked out a lot. And like I said, they're edible, so you really don't have to bother. Like sardine bones. They're so soft, they're so small, they will not get caught in your throat. But once I picked out the bones, I cut up the herring into small pieces because I'm kind of using this for flavoring. Because you're going to boil so much of that salt out the salted codfish that you're going to want something to bring some of that salt back. And me and a friend of mine, the social butterfly, R.I.P., we did this by mistake one time, overboiled the water and put this back in it, and it was amazing. So once that's cut up, put it aside. I had some shrimp. Hey, like I said, elevating this humble dish. Because trust me, when you broke, they didn't have all these ingredients to put together. It was one, two, or the other. Trust me, sometimes it's just one and the other. Anyway, take the shell off the tail of my shrimp. These are kind of small shrimp. Thought about getting the bigger ones, but this is what I had. This was what was thawed out. This is what we using. Take the tail off because you don't want to be chomping on the tail. You want to eat this nice and easy. Clean up a little bit. And you're going to blot that dry some because you don't want it all wet and soggy when you start to cook it. Put that aside for now. Get you a bowl so you can pour out some of that water from your saltfish. And you're not going to throw that water away because you might use some of that for something else. You know how they do the pasta, you save some of the water? Well, I'm trying to get inventive with the stuff that I'm doing too. You know, you take lessons from one thing you do and you do something else with it. So that's the codfish in there. I'm putting my second pot of water to boil that codfish some more. And while I do a couple other things. Now, this is the codfish after it's been boiled twice. You can see it's drawn up a whole lot. Most of that salt is gone. Put that aside. And I got out my Platinos. Plantain. This is a yellow plantain. This one's not sweet. I cut it in half, put it in the pot with some of that same salted water, and we're going to boil that. And while that's boiling, I'm going to flake the codfish, because codfish will flake up, especially after it's been boiling that much, and it's actually good, it's done, it's ready to eat. But now you've taken most of the salt out of that codfish. Trust me, there will be some more. That's why you boil it 2 or 3 times. Because yes, that stuff is, they salted to preserve it back in the day before good refrigeration. They salted almost everything. So you flake up your codfish. You get some Ackee. What is Ackee? It looks like scrambled eggs. What is it? I don't know. It's a fruit. You eat it, and if you don't clean it properly, it will kill you. So I buy it in a can. It's already clean. They say pour off the brine. I poured off the brine. I put it in the pot. Now, you don't want to stir it too much because it'll scramble like eggs. But I put a little salt. I put a little black pepper in there. I put a little garlic powder. And I also used some of that salt water from the saltfish, just a tiny bit. Don't want to resalt all the stuff you unsalted, but you want to swish that around. Don't want to stir it too much because it will break up easy, and like I said, it'll look like you got scrambled eggs in there. But you want to heat that up. And while that's heating up, you check on your Callaloo with your baby corn in there. Stir it up. It's coming along nicely. Cool. Yeah. Put that back aside. Let it finish warming up. Because like I said, that's why you put in the crock pot. All this other stuff take a while. That'll heat up by itself. And once your plantain and your ackee is kind of warm, it's time to start cooking up the rest of this dish. Yep, so once your oil starts to shimmer, starts to get hot, I put my shrimp in there. I only cook my shrimp about a minute per side. I splash some of this liquid amino on there because some reason liquid amino and olive oil will get your stuff to caramelize very quickly and very nicely. Learned that. Never saw that on the show. It's just what happens to me. Hey, try it out. Anyway, after a minute, flip your shrimp over. Like I said, these are small shrimp. After another minute, you flip them over, you check them. They don't even have to be totally done because they're going to get put back into the pot when the rest of the pot is hot, but you want to get some color on them. Now, add a little more olive oil to your pot, and that's when you're going to start doing things like adding your onion in there. Just going to soften it up. Don't want it to get too brown, and no, you did not clean out that pot because you want all that seasoning to get on your onion. Once your onion starts getting nice and softened, you put your sweet peppers in there and your hot peppers in there. You stir, you flip, you fold, you move it around. You do the hokey. No, you don't do the hokey pokey, but you flip it around. You're just getting some color on those onions, on those peppers. You softening, you flavoring. You're doing the do. Once that's up to a nice temperature, that's when you add the codfish that you flaked up in. You stir. You get everything up to a nice simmer. Add a little more olive oil. Add a little chili oil. Go on, add it. There you go. And you stir. You bring that up to temperature. Your temperature should be a medium high. Once it comes up to temperature, you're just going to bring it back to a medium. That was your mackerel that I'm stirring in now. You add some diced tomatoes, petite diced tomatoes if you have them, juice and all. That's going to bring a sauce to your dish that you're making. All of it. Get it all in there. You stir. You bring that up to a nice simmer. Because every time you put something that large, it's going to cool it down some. Once it comes up to a nice simmer, you add your shrimp back. You stir your shrimp up in there. You let it once again come up to a nice simmer. And once it's about looking like that, you're almost done. Yep. You put that aside, you put your ackee on so your ackee will warm up. You get your plantain that's boiled, you take it out the skin. Yes, you boil it in the skin. You cut it up a little bit for mouth-sized bites, about, something so you can do some nice presentation, but nice bite-sized bits. That's what I'm trying to say. You get your bowl out. You start plating it up. You add your saltfish, your peppers, onions, your shrimp. You're gonna set this up in layers. You get your green banana. You line up your lovely bowl. You turn your bowl. Get your ackee carefully with a fork so you don't get all the juice, but you get the ackee and you don't break up the ackee so it don't look like scrambled eggs. Turn the bowl again. You get your callaloo and corn, baby corn, and you put that in the other side. Lovely, looking lovely. Close it up, put it back aside so you don't make a mess, spilling stuff. You know how you do. So, and then to top it off, you just add a little bit more on the top. Oh, and there you have it. Bam. Ackee and saltfish lifted up with some shrimp, mackerel, callaloo, and baby corn, and Platinos. That's how you elevate a humble dish.